Hello world and welcome to the next video. I want to address the controversy about Jill Biden's use of doctor in her name. So recently there was an article which condescended Jill Biden and basically criticized her deeply and suggested that she should drop the doctor part of her name at the beginning because she does not have a medical degree. Rather, she has a doctorate in education. Now, as you may know, across the USA, colleges and universities grant PhDs in their graduate programs for a variety of subjects. And the vast majority of people are aware of this. So I was surprised when a lot of right-wing hosts and media figures jumped on the bandwagon to criticize Jill for using doctor in her name. And the way they framed the criticism, it sounded like they were attacking education itself, suggesting that perhaps it wasn't worthwhile because they take the story and they really twist it out of context. They come up with these fake scenarios where Jill would have to treat you as a medical doctor when in fact she could not because she is not a medical doctor. But in no instance has Jill pretended to be a medical doctor. So it's these really outlandish stories pushed by people like Tucker Carlson on his show. And I was surprised that Tucker spent so much time on this subject because although I do have many criticisms of Tucker, occasionally he's really good on fighting corruption and breaking those kinds of stories. So anyway, let's watch the clip from Tucker Carlson tonight.
Imagine your nightmare health emergency. You're on vacation with your family when suddenly you double over with shooting chest pains and lose consciousness. You wake up strapped into the back of an ambulance racing to the emergency room. Paramedics hover over you trying to keep you calm. You've had a massive coronary, they shout over the sirens, but we're going to take good care of you. You're about to see one of the best doctors in the country. In fact, Whoopi Goldberg just said this person should be the next Surgeon General.
I'll pause it right there for a moment because on Whoopi's show, she did make a mistake and claim that she believes Jill should be the Surgeon General. So basically, she did get confused about what degree Jill Biden did in fact have. Now, most people watching the show would realize that this is a mistake. You wouldn't want someone who is not a medical doctor or someone that does not have experience in that area to be the Surgeon General. Rather, she can have some education position, given that she has a doctorate in education. But Tucker twists this story way out of context, feigns a lot of outrage, and he goes on to suggest that Jill would insist on being a doctor when she's never done any such thing.
So you slump back onto the stretcher, deeply relieved. Maybe you're going to make it after all. Moments later, they wheel you into the hospital, and there she is, the famous doctor they just told you about. But something's wrong. She doesn't have a stethoscope. There's not a chart or an EKG machine in sight. Instead, she's turning on what appears to be an overhead projector. Jill, a nurse yells, "There's a patient here. What do we do?" "That's Dr. Biden to you," the woman replies icily.
So, as you can see, totally fabricated scenario where Jill pretends to be a medical doctor. This is completely made up in order to try to trigger viewers into feeling some sort of anger. It's a really manipulative piece of media, in fact, verging on propaganda.
And then launches into a slideshow on equity and diversity in Delaware's community college system. Very soon you begin to lose consciousness again. For the first time in your life, you have no fear of death. In fact, you welcome its sweet release.
Then he mentions that Jill goes into a speech about diversity. And as you slowly lose consciousness, you wish to die, in fact. And this is just unbelievably condescending. And so he's also, in the end, attacking diversity here because as someone who has studied education, she would have some more intuition about that area and how diversity has been handled in the past, how it is handled in the current world. But Tucker decides to have a really smug sort of attitude here. And like I said, it's very strange how he practically attacks education altogether, as if he encourages people to be uneducated, which I'm not sure why you would ever encourage anyone to be uneducated in order to not be able to help themselves do better in life. And if you enjoy my commentary, please like this video, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.